Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. My name is Yuvraj Shukla. In last class, we studied about the soil and the soil fertility, its constituents, then the classification of soil, which is the transported and residual. Then we looked into the alluvial soil. In alluvial soil, we learned about its characteristics, its texture, its distribution, okay, and the minerals in alluvial soil. In today's session, we are going to be looking into the crops we get from alluvial soil. Okay, so alluvial soil is light and porous. We have learned this last class. Okay, so it is light and porous and therefore easily tillable. It is suitable for the growth of a large variety of rabi and kharif crops. It is fertile and suitable for cultivation of rice, wheat, sugarcane, cotton, tobacco, gram, and oilseed. Okay, in Ganga Brahmaputra Valley, the jute cultivation is higher. Okay, we have to remember this that where do we find more and more number of jute cultivation? Like where can we get them? So the Ganga Brahmaputra Valley, okay, that is most useful, like most suitable for jute cultivation. Okay, so we are done with alluvial soil and now we will be moving on with black soil. Okay, so as the name suggests, the black soil is in black color. Why is it in black color? I'm going to tell you that. So black soil is formed by the process of denudation of volcanic rocks. So it is in black color and it is also called as lava soil. Okay, because it is formed by the denudation of volcanic rocks. Okay, it is also called as regur soil and it is suitable for cotton cultivation. It is a residual soil. Residual soil, what do we mean by residual soil? That is, it is formed at the place of its origin. Okay, so the original soil are known as residual soil and black soil is an example of residual soil. Okay, it is a residual soil. Why it is because it is formed at the place of origin. It is black in color because it is formed by the process of denudation of volcanic rocks. Okay, we are done with this part. Now we move on to the distribution of black soil. So the regur soil or the black soil, you can say, it is concentrated over the Deccan lava tract, which include parts of Maharashtra, Madhya Pradesh, Gujarat, Andhra Pradesh, Karnataka, and etc. Okay, so black soil, we can find black soil where in like parts of Maharashtra, Andhra Pradesh, Madhya Pradesh, Gujarat, Karnataka, Tamil Nadu. So we can find black soil in parts at these places. Now we know why black soil is in black color. Okay, so the color of black soil we have got to know that it is in black color. Sorry. Then its texture. Now it is a fine texture and clay in nature. That is its constituent consists of 50% of clay content. Okay. Now, because of that 50% of clay content, black soil, we can say it is difficult to plow on it because, like, when we pour water on black soil, it becomes wet and it becomes difficult to plow. But during dry seasons, it shrinks and develops big cracks, which help in air circulation. And this characteristic is called as self-flowing. Okay, so when we pour when we bring the black soil in contact with water, it becomes really wet and loose because it contains a 50% clay content. Okay, and because of that, it becomes very difficult or very hard to flow in that. But in dry seasons, the black soil, okay, the black soil, it develops cracks in it and it shrinks, which helps in air circulation. And this characteristic of black soil is called as self-flowing. Okay, now black soil is high in quantities of lime, iron, and magnesium, and poor in percentage of phosphorus, nitrogen, and organic. Now, what crops will be we will be getting in black soil? The soil is very fertile in most of the places. It is suitable for cultivation of cotton, jowar, wheat, linseed, gram, citrus, etc. Okay, so we have seen black soil also. We have seen its characteristics, its color, its texture, its crops, its minerals. Okay, and even the process by which it is formed, and the reason also behind why it is in black color, and the self-flowing characteristic also. Okay, so with this we are done with black soil also. Now we move on to the next type of soil, which is red soil. Now, red soil is a category of soil which develops an old crystalline rocks under prolonged weathering by rainfall, ancient crystalline and metamorphic rocks of the peninsular plateau break up to form this soil. Okay, so how this is formed? This is formed by the breaking up of the metamorphic rocks of peninsular plateau. Now, why the red soil is in red color? Because of like content of iron oxide. Okay, it may change slightly from like it differs from place to place. The color of red soil, so it might be it might appear brown or gray at some places, but at most of the places you will find red soil in red color because of high iron oxide content. Okay, its distribution. So we will be finding red soil in large, like it's the second largest group of soil in India. The first is alluvial soil with 40% of India's land, and second is red soil. And red soil can be found in the peninsular India. And the examples you can take as Kutch in the west, Rajmahal Hills in east, then Mizoram, Manipur, Telangana, Nagaland, Odisha, Meghalaya, Bundelkhand, Jharkhand, Chhattisgarh. So at these places we can find red soil in higher quantity. Okay. Now we move on to the texture of red soil. So it is porous, loose, and aerating. Okay, porous and shallow. So it needs irrigation, contains soluble salts in small quantities. It's not very fertile, but responds to fertilizers. So red soil is not fertile for cultivation, but it needs irrigation. It needs fertilizers. Okay, to make it fertile. It responds to fertilizers. Then poor in nitrogen, organic matter, and potassium. Okay, and it contains soluble salt in small quantities. You have to remember these points. It can be asked in exams. Now crops. So it is most suitable for growing vegetables, rice, ragi, and tobacco, groundnut, and potatoes. Okay, rice, ragi, potato, groundnut, and tobacco, and vegetables. Ideal for dry farming as formed in poor rainfall areas. In the peninsular India, there is a poor rainfall, so it's ideal for dry farming. With this, we are done with red soil also. We have seen its characteristics, which is color, texture, minerals, and crops. Then we have seen why it is in red color, and we have also seen its distribution and its meaning. Okay, how is it formed? The formation process. Now we move on to the next type of soil and the last type, which we are going to be studying of soil, which is laterite soil. Okay, now this type of soil is formed as a result of atmospheric weathering of rocks. Okay, under conditions of high rainfall and temperature with alternate wet and dry periods. So this is formed with the result of atmospheric weathering of rocks, okay, and leaching process. Now, what do we mean by leaching? So leaching is a process in which the nutrients get percolated into the soil due to heavy rainfall leaving the topsoil infertile. This is also called desiccation. Okay, so it is a kind of soil erosion which erodes the topsoil and makes the subsoil more fertile. Okay, and this is called as laterite soil. Sorry, this process is called as leaching, and by this process we can get laterite soil. Okay, there are two types of laterite soils: the upland laterites and lowland laterites. And we can find laterite soil mainly occurs in highland areas of peninsular plateau, eastern Ghats, Maharashtra, West Bengal, Andhra Pradesh. Okay, now characteristics. Laterite soil is also in red color. We know the reason because it contains high iron oxide, and we know the formation by how it is formed. So it's formed by atmospheric weathering of rocks and by leaching process. Its texture is porous in nature, soft and okay, and minerals. So it is a porous soil. Okay, it's deficient in nitrogen, poor in lime and magnesium, rich in iron oxide and potash, and alkalis are leached. Okay, so laterite soil is only rich in iron oxide, so it is considered as a construction material. The laterite soil is considered as a construction material. Crops we can find cashew nuts, tea, coffee. Okay, with this we are done with types of soils, the classification, all four types, the alluvial soil with their characteristics and distribution, then the black soil, characteristics and distribution. The next is the red soil with characteristics and distribution, and the last one is the laterite soil with characteristics and distribution. Each and every point is covered. Okay, now we move on to the soil erosion. So as said before, leaching is also a type of soil erosion. Now we are going to learn that in detail. First of all, what is soil erosion? So the removal of the topsoil cover by water, wind, and human activities is called soil erosion. So basically, we remove the topsoil, the covered soil. We remove that. We erode it. We make it unfertile. Okay, which is basically not uh, useful to us in terms of agriculture. Okay, which is not fertile. So we make it unfertile. That process is called soil erosion. So we have to remember this definition of soil erosion. The removal of topsoil cover by water, wind, and human activities is called soil erosion. These 3 keywords has to be mentioned in the definition. Water, wind, and human activities. These are the 3 agents which erode the soil, okay, which cause soil erosion. Now we will look into the soil erosion by water. Okay, so there are 6 to 7 types of soil erosion by water. First is sheet erosion. So it occurs on a gentle slopes, and it is the slow removal of a thin layer of soil when vegetation is disturbed. Okay, so when the grass, okay, or more specific, when the vegetation is destroyed on the soil, and when the topsoil is removed with the vegetation, then it is known as the sheet erosion. Okay, because the soil gets eroded by layers. So by layers and layers it gets eroded. That's why it is called as sheet erosion. Now we will look into rill erosion. So when sheet erosion continues long, the silt-laden runoff forms many finger-shaped rills, and this is called rill erosion. So when the sheet erosion continues for a long time, then it forms grooves and rills in the land, okay, or in the soil, the subsoil and the top, which is called as rill erosion. Gully erosion. During heavy downpour, deep gullies are made on bare soils on account of water runoff. Gully erosion removes nutrients and heavy load of loose soil, making the soil unproductive. So by gully erosion, there is a high amount of water poured in the gullies formed due to the sheet and rill erosion, which makes the soil unproductive because it's receiving more than its consumed water. Okay, so more than needed, the soil is getting. That's why it becomes unproductive and gets eroded. Now we know what is the leaching process, which is caused by the water. So the water removes the topsoil, which or makes or erodes it and percolates in the subsoil, making the topsoil more unfertile. Okay, this is called leaching. Now sea erosion. The tidal waters of the sea cause considerable damage to the soil along the coast. Okay, the coast, the powerful waves dash against coast and break hanging cliff rocks. Sea erosion is seen throughout the eastern and the western Ghats. So this is basically caused by the uh, waves, the sea waves. So the sea waves, they basically affect the mountains or the hilly rocks, which then fall on the topsoil, on the land, and breaks the soil, breaks the connectivity between the soil, and like makes it loose. Okay, makes it loose, which causes soil erosion. So this is sea erosion. Stream bank erosion. Streams and rivers change their courses by cutting one bank and depositing the silt loads on the other. During flash floods, the damage is accelerated. Okay, so when the rivers, they make their way by cutting other rivers way. Okay, we know this कि एक नदी यहाँ से जा रही है और दूसरी भी यहीं से जा रही है, तो वो दूसरी वाली का फ्लो अगर ज्यादा है तो वो जो दूसरी नदी है उसका फ्लो रोक के जाएगी। तो ये सिल डिपोजिशन जो होता है दूसरी नदी में, उससे उसका जो खुद के सिल्ट है, जो उसका खुद का सॉइल है, सब रिवर बेड पे जो उसकी सॉइल है, वो एरोड हो जाती है। क्योंकि उसके ऊपर एक नया लेयर आता है, तो उसका नीचे का लेयर अनप्रोडक्टिव हो जाता है। तो क्योंकि उसका नया ऊपर का जो लेयर है वो ही काम में आएगा। सो दिस इज स्ट्रीम बैंक erosion. So now we move on to soil erosion due to human activity. I'm sorry. The loss of vegetation, deforestation, mining. So these processes cause erosion, soil erosion. Okay. Sheet, rail, gully erosion is uncontrolled, like it is caused also by the uncontrolled grazing of domestic animals in valleys and the upper slopes. So these three to four are the main reasons, or the main human activity which cause soil erosion. Okay, as you can see in the picture, we can see military training, grazing livestock, then types of vegetation also, then natural factors also, wind strength and direction. So we can see all types of soil erosion, causes of soil erosion in this picture. Okay, now we move on to erosion by wind. Now basically wind carries away the topsoil with it. Okay, the wind erosion refers to the movement and deposition of soil particles by wind. It occurs when soil devoid, the vegetation is exposed to high velocity of wind. Okay, the wind erosion reduces the productive capacity of soil as most of the nutrients required by the plants are carried away by the wind. Okay, so the wind basically carries the topsoil and the small particles on topsoil with it. So with that topsoil, it also carries the nutrients, the minerals present in the topsoil, making the leftovers unproductive. Okay, this is soil erosion by wind. Now we move on to the causes of soil erosion. So heavy population pressure on land. So basically more forests are being destroyed to house and make construct buildings because of heavy population pressure, which also causes sheet erosion, sheet soil erosion. Okay, then nature of rainfall. Now, due to high rainfall, the leaching process is caused, leaching soil erosion is caused, which also again makes the topsoil unproductive. Overgrazing. With overgrazing, we basically pluck up the grass, and with that grass, the topsoil and the roots are also plucked up, causing erosion again because the nutrients are taken in and the topsoil is no more fertile and is also not productive anymore. Okay. Then bad farming techniques. So the farmers in India are not that educated with new techniques, with modern techniques, and they still use the old techniques, which some in some or the other way affects the soil fertility, and its nutrients are lost. With high and high use of fertilizers also, the topsoil containing the natural fertility may lose it. Okay, so this is bad farming technique. Topography. So the northern east parts of India, Shivaliks and hilly regions in South India are affected by soil erosion because of steep slopes and heavy rainfall. Okay, deforestation. Now, as said in the heavy population pressure, we remove the trees. The vegetation is cut down. The forest is cut down. Deforestation occurs. With that, the topsoil is also removed with the trees, with the vegetation, which causes soil erosion because the nutrients are taken away and the soil is no more productive. Okay. At last, we are going to see the prevention from soil erosion. So these are some points: terrace farming, shelter belts, contour flowing, strip cropping, construction of dams, plugging gullies and planting trees. Okay. Soil conservation. Conservation is the last topic of our chapter. Soil conservation means prevention of soil less from erosion or prevention of reduced fertility of soil caused by overusage and acidification, salination, or other types of soil contamination. Okay, so this is called soil conservation, basically to prevent soil by getting eroded. Okay, with this, we are done with the chapter. We are done with the chapter of soil classification in India or soil resources of India. And in our chapter, we have covered we have covered what is soil, the soil fertility, then the constituents of soil and its classification. Classification basically the residual soil and the transported soil. We have seen what is residual soil. We have even seen what is transported soil. Okay. Then ahead we have seen what do we mean by alluvial soil, its distribution and its characteristics. Then ahead we have seen black soil. What do we understand by black soil? Okay, the by what process it is formed, the characteristics and its distribution. Same we have seen for red and laterite soil as well. Okay, then we have seen what is soil erosion. Then the types of soil erosion caused by water, by wind, and by human activity. We have even seen the definition of soil erosion in which the three keywords are wind, water, and human activity. Okay, then we have seen what causes soil erosion, which is heavy population pressure, deforestation, topography, bad farming techniques, overgrazing, and etc. And then we have seen preventions from. Okay, so in preventions we have seen uh, contour flowing, terrace farming, etc. Okay, and then we have seen soil conservation. So soil conservation is a process by which we prevent the soil by getting eroded by any of the factors. It could be wind, water, or human factor in. Okay, so with this, we are done with the chapter. For any doubt, do comment and ask in the comment section. Do like, share, and subscribe my channel. Okay, bye. Thank you.